Don't let them in, don't let them close. But if they break through, don't let them go. They claim you
wish you could be here, but I didn't get Lee's permission to have you in here.
That is fine.
You have a particular favorite place on the roof?
No, not particularly. We can probably just use one of the shaded areas.
You know, for as long as we've been able to come up here, I actually haven't really been up here that often. Besides go over there. But I don't really go away from there that much.
That is understandable.
Your mouth is having a little bit of a popping problem.
Is it still having issues?
I think so.
One moment. How about now?
That sounds better, yeah. Oh. It's been a little bit since we've chatted. You know, I can't. I think the last time we had like a one-on-one was a long while ago.
Yes, it has been a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, I've recently wanted to start having some one-on-ones again with some people, but the past month and a half has been, you know, a fun time.
Right.
Has he finally told you, Chase?
If you are referring about both of us being considered for the position of left hand, yes, he has informed me.
How's that waiting on you?
In all honesty, it does not make full sense why he would consider me in the running for that position.
Well, I mean, how do I say this? You're probably one of the most competent people here.
I assume that there were
I mean,
people that are more competent.
you have Corvus, but I think his ego gets in the way of it. There's probably, but I think she'd probably, for sure turn it down and not want that type of responsibility. Who else? There was Carlos, but he was being eyed as a champion instead. And I feel like he's too much of a yes man for Chase to be left hand. Who else around here? Is apparently somehow me. I honestly really don't know how that came about, but it did.
You are someone who is strong, capable, and reliable. I wouldn't see any other person who would be fit for that position, or at least in consideration.
Yeah. Of course, he says, you know, we have a ways to go, but we'll get in there. Apparently. How are you doing?
As well as I can be, given the circumstances of the past couple of weeks.
Do the circumstances also include Renee?
Partially, yes.
How's she doing?
She's holding up, as well as she can be given the supplies that we have on demand.
That's good. How's Intel going?
In the terms of information gathering, it has been fine, but with the situation that Asha put himself into, and now with Derek reporting on the attack on his warehouse that he was using, things are complicated, to say the least.
Yeah. I really do wonder why we had to do it in this weird roundabout way.
I am not sure either. It's simply more smoke and mirrors, and if someone finds out, then it reflects on everyone who is the deciding factor in how that happened. And then it will create a rift, and we'll have to work even harder to ensure that we can be trusted by everyone else here, if it is found out.
I'm not really all that worried if people find out. I'm only worried in the sense because Chase doesn't want people to know. Because it was done in this roundabout way. I feel like in the scenario that it does come to light, I mean, leadership has their reasons. We all voted. It all came down to what it came down to. I just think the only thing that they're going to latch on to is the secrecy instead of a public execution.
In that aspect, I agree with you, but especially when Derek finds out, I am concerned for what he may do to Buck to try and get back at him.
Yeah, he was already pissed at Bug. I don't know why, but... No, I do know, actually. Has to do with the sledgehammer that he used to smash his hand. I don't know
Correct.
what significance that sledgehammer has, though.
It was Jace's. Him having his hand broken entirely by the weapon that was used by his deceased friend, by both of their deceased friends. It impacted Derek much more than just physically.
Yeah, then I do agree with Bug. I genuinely think Jace would have done the same thing. Especially with the time we had in Queen's training. I think it was changing him a lot. I believe for the better. But it's neither here nor there. If you're confused on the context, Bug said that Jace would have done the same thing.
I figured that's what you were referring to.
It's just a little wonky.
I'm unsure why it is doing that.
What's your position on all this?
In terms of how we handle the situation going forward.
Yeah.
For right now, we need to prioritize on stopping CC and getting Wrench back. That's what our main priority should be. But after we handle this, I believe that we now more than ever need to be supportive of each other. All of us. I agree with a lot of what Chase has said in the past couple of weeks, that we should be working as one another, and even when he was out, while we were trying to still pick up our pieces, Lee was one of the people that reminded me that we are not alone. And we shouldn't stay that way. I am unsure of what the rest of the discussion was after we left the meeting room on what Ira wanted to do in regards to a sort of punishment after we settle our current problem. But I know that she at the least deserves something. Not that I blame you for how you handled that situation. As Chase said, you were simply doing your job. My fear is that if we don't do something that will satisfy her need for some sort of justice, that she will simply lash out or possibly make things more difficult, as you already saw in the group chat.
Yeah. Whenever it all comes down to it, the finding out what happened to Rat through Chase's plan and not Ira fucking everything up. I will be wearing a rat's mask for a time being. I don't mind it. Carrying someone's memory is something I try to do anyways. Though Bugs is undecided. For the reasoning that Ira wanted to do something a little extreme. And that includes telling Birdie what happened.
I see.
Chase doesn't like using people's loved ones as leverage. So we gave that a flat out no. You know, ever since Renee got back, I haven't been able to think straight.
I
She
can...
was supposed to be dead.
That is what we all thought, yes.
Did she tell you what they did to her?
They did.
And that's not something I'd even wish upon my own worst enemy.
No. Which is why that I didn't hold a candle to the words of the threat that we got immediately after coming back from that mission. We kill each of our own more often than we would say that we would not, and yet one life is equal to start threatening to throw a tantrum in regards for what they did to Renee. It was a mercy that I just cut off their head, that I didn't make them into some weapon.
And where are the monsters? Tigers have the audacity to call us the monsters.
The hypocrisy is not lost on me at all.
You know, the likelihood of it was probably slim to none. But knowing that Ira wanted to throw him in the river, and holding him in my arms, I thought of Renee. You know, what if by the off chance they find his body? And they turn him into whatever amalgamation they can make. Contrary to most people's beliefs, I didn't hate Rat. I thought it was pretty alright. Sure, he messed up a lot. But I feel Derek and whatever past Rat had were the main contributors to his actions.
I didn't hold any disdain for him either, but the circumstances were already laid out before we even had a proper discussion. He was already given his last chance, and Chase saw that as that being the final straw. I didn't want to have to agree the decisions that everyone else made, but I had no other rebuttal. His history spoke for itself.
Unfortunately, the next time Derek fucks up, I think that's what he has waiting for himself.
Most likely. And if that day were to come, I would want to ask Chase or whoever would want to handle it if I was the one who should handle it. He's part of my division. And if he steps out of line, then I'm supposed to be the one who keeps him in check.
That's fair.
I wouldn't want the responsibility or the backlash to fall on anyone else in that moment.
Speaking of this type of stuff, keep an eye out on the heads. I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Keep their tabs on who they're close with. Because in case we have to do the same thing, they can't be a part of it.
Understood.
If you remember my idea that was set into motion a few months back about not having partners or very close people to each other look after each other due to bias. As much as virus, what was the word out? Her lashing out is valid. I can see. What happened just very much proved that we can't let people close to each other do these types of things.
That was apparent. I would simply hope that we do not need to resort to doing something like this again. At the least not anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm unsure if you know the answer to it, and I was going to ask him personally about it. But what happened to make Bug scream the way that he did? Yell at Ira like that?
Do you remember when Brody was missing for basically a week?
I'm aware, yes.
If you were unaware to it, Ira and Birdie had a thing for each other. And Ira is monogamous. But Birdie, here she was, close to Rad, me, Bliss. So one day, she takes her to the research headroom and gives her an ultimatum. Or, I think it was more of a question. I think it was more of a question, yeah. On what she was going to do. Birdie. Because Ira didn't like that she was with other people as well. I don't remember exactly if Birdie said that she wanted more time to think, or that she wasn't ready to commit to just one person, or doesn't want to commit to one person. But whatever the answer that she gave her, Ira didn't like. So she chloroformed her. Stuck her in her closet. After a few days, she came into contact with Nadia. Of Ira's accord, of course. They had an outing. And if I remember correctly, it was basically stay with her or stop breaking people's hearts. Don't quote me on that part, as that part I can't fully remember. Either way, for the next few weeks, she stayed with Ira. But that's because she was afraid of her. She finally worked up the courage and ended it. But still, to this day, if you manage to catch the both of them in the same room, and they're on the opposite sides, every now and then I can see the way Birdie looks at her. She's still afraid of her.
How long have you known about this information?
Today is Monday. It'd be a week tomorrow. Apparently she didn't even tell Bug until a month or two ago. Maybe less. Wrench also knows. But I think it was probably at a time where Wrench didn't have this weird backbone against the council. I'm still debating whether or not I will inform Chase.
If you are not going to inform him, I will.
I will say that Bug has only not said anything because he promised her he wouldn't. And as much as this should have been told to the rest of leadership, I can see why. If this gets out to Nadia, then Birdie's still free to revert to.
That makes... It makes no logical sense why we shouldn't, at the very least, inform Chase about this. Or the rest of leadership, for that matter.
Well, in either scenario, Ira's probably gonna spill the beans. And again, I'm not too worried about it. We'd have to regain people's trust, but we have our reasonings. I just know that if I do it, I'm fully aware of the consequences, and I don't care.
And quite frankly, I don't care about the consequences that would happen if I were to expose what she did to Birdie.
I would say it's not exactly on the same level as what Rhett and Derek did to Callahan, but it's pretty close.
Considering she was going on about things being done the right way and against people's wishes, I would say that drugging someone against their will and holding them essentially hostage in what, some sick, twisted form of love. And she wants to talk about things being done the right way.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot on that past few days, or the past week, since learning that. I know you're gonna have a meeting with Chase tomorrow. So when it's done, just let me know. Tell him you want to speak some more. And I'll be there so I can collaborate.
If anything, I would be hypocritically remiss if I were to want to take action against someone, even just to talk about wanting to take action against someone when I said that we should, when I agreed that we should also wait. So I will continue to prioritize our primary directive. And then when we are able to push back the oppression on the front lines, then I will want to talk with Chase. Because as you mentioned, Wrench also knows and can also corroborate that he knew about this. And I would imagine that he would want to more than likely know if something is being done about it or not, or if someone wants to do something about it. Considering it involved one of my scouts, I very much want to do something about it.
Let's hope that getting Wrench back isn't too far out.
That is the hope.
If anything,
In what regard?
no, just let you know what I'm thinking. If I think we have to do it sooner rather than later.
Hmm.
At least if anything, if we do hold out until we get Wrench, then if Chase asks why we waited, then the hearsay of two leadership, one of them being under the scrutiny of the other and having their trust lost from that one.
Right.
Could spike. Yeah.
That is an understandable sentiment.
That's why I haven't told him yet.
I will think it over. And will let you know if I make a decision. And it will be by tomorrow, I can assure you.
Hmm. You know, I do want to ask.
Hmm.
How is it so easy for you to... No. Not easy. Sorry. How are you able to continue to talk with Renee as if nothing happened?
It is not so much me talking with them as if nothing happened, but because of those things that happened. And if I were to let any time at all slip that I don't have a chance to talk with her with the time that she has, then I fear what I will be reminiscent of saying to her. What I could have said. To understand what she says. That's what happened when we had saw her last will. I didn't understand what she meant by the words that she said. At least not fully, in the moment. But now I have a better understanding of what those words meant. And I don't want to have to do that to either myself or to her, now that she is alive. That we know she's alive.
Every time I look at her, I feel something in my throat. It's not vomit or anything. But it's like it's just stuck there. I can't get anything out.
If you can't speak, then you should let your actions speak for you. That is what I did. I didn't know what to say when I saw her wheeling herself out in the medbay, and all I could do was hold her. Know that it wasn't just some fantasy, some trick, that I could hold someone that I cared for, that I thought was lost, and know that they are still here. She knows that you have been avoiding her. She doesn't blame you, but you know that now more than ever, she needs us to be there with her.
I just see her and I can't think. And when I do, I just still feel like some things would have been better if she was still head of security. I feel like whatever legacy she left for me, I can't hold up to it.
Like I said when talking about you in terms of being in consideration for being one of Chase's hands, you are strong, reliable, and capable. And Renee knows that. You know that she knows that. I'm sure just knowing the thought that you're still here at all is more than enough confirmation for her. And that you're still breathing, and that you're still fighting, wanting to honor her, and wanting to do good by everyone else here.
Why am I so scared to face her?
Because you don't know what will happen. That unknown. That anything could happen at any moment. And you're unsure of what would be a worse outcome. But I can at least assure you that even in some sense at all, that you finally reaching out to her would mean more to both of you and be considered closure for both of you to know how the two of you feel. Granted, I know I cannot speak on it very much. Knowing how I feel is only a recent development.
I don't think I've ever been this scared about something before.
Then, if you need someone to help nudge you in the right direction, you know that there are people who are willing to help.
Yeah, it feels a little weird coming from someone else. I just did that to Callahan Friday when Jeff passed.
I
This is
can.
different from you.
Hmm. It is simply a matter of wanting to make sure that my friends are not hurting.
Oh, you carry a lot up there too.
It is simply understanding what it is to have family that you would do anything for.
God, hearing family used in the right context around here is so rare.
The irony is not lost on me.
Thanks.
Of course.
You know, technically Ezra isn't my real name. No, it's not because I wanted to create some identity or whatever for some criminal underground. I just like the name. Eventually, though, I guess it did become an identity because I wanted to keep this part of myself away from my family. My biological family, that is. I don't want them getting caught up in all of this.
Hmm.
In English, you would pronounce it Carolina, technically. But in Spanish, it's Carolina.
I see. And then I will take that into account for the future. And thank you for trusting me with that.
Yeah, you and me both.
Then I suppose it is fair that I share with you something that I haven't told anyone. My full name is Reagan Ingram. I have made it a point to not share my last name with anyone for fear of what might happen. But I know that I can trust you.
Nice to meet you, Miss Ingram.
I don't think I'm going to get used to that.
On another not so sappy topic, gems, actually. I'm gonna talk to Chase about it tomorrow. Ugh.
Mm.
Actually, there's a few things there that I wanted to talk to you about, actually, that I just remembered. I'll touch on the Sylvie subject first before we get to gems. Sylvie created the schematics for this Magitech generator that was put into gems. Not only was that put into gems, so was something called revenant wiring or whatever. I don't know the full extent of it, but Wrench has mentioned some small things about it.
From what I remember looking at the log for it in our system that calculated our storage, it is a very dangerous piece of hardware. The possible ramifications of it being installed on its own would mean that upon the person being incapacitated or even killed, they would still be able to continue fighting.
Oh boy. No, yeah, that is something Wrench did say.
And with the implications of it being now even possibly linked with the crystal and generator, I am worried about the effects that it could have on him when he wakes up. If he wakes up.
Lee is already aware of it, but we have to make sure Chase knows that Lee's going to be the main overseer for him on it.
That is only understandable.
And then whenever Wrench gets back, they can talk about what they want to do. Him and Lee. Sylvie will not be allowed to oversee anything on him. For the time being. She may have created all these schematics and everything of the sorts, but I know Wrench wouldn't have wanted her to use something like that for this. Honestly, I don't think he would have wanted her to use it at all.
No. In fairness, before I texted Chase about the idea that was put forward, I should have properly called all the available heads. And I would assume that they would also agree that we should not have done this. Out of respect, but also we have...
We can't play God.
We cannot play God, but also we cannot simply cover this over the rug. I am worried of how whatever events that might transpire tomorrow.
Fuck. I'm afraid of Wrench would have done. Or what he will do when he gets back. Gems. What I was gonna say. And I will talk with this again whenever Wrench gets back. We need to have a team ready for when he goes overboard. people that can be trusted on it. I've
And
already got a few people in mind, but
Mm.
I'm gonna talk to Chase about it. And even if he says no, I'm still gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna tell him that too. But
I would
this is
hope that in explaining that he might at any point become unstable, that having precautions would be favorable than us having to scramble and try and figure out a way to either subdue him or put him down to protect everyone else.
I honestly disliked it whenever Chase brought back Phoenix. I don't feel any better about it. Letting a group of people bring one other person back.
Nor do I.
Well, we've got another busy week.
And more than likely even busier weeks after. I was going to discuss this with Chase as well. But even after we are given a sort of down period, I won't let what happened in the last one happen again. I want us to push back.
Yeah. I'm getting sick of Whispers getting kidnapped anyways. It's a weird trend we like to follow.
Unfortunately, I am not unincluded in that percentage.
I feel like I should know what you're talking about, but I don't.
In my first proper mission, we were surrounded and I was one of the two that were taken by CC's men in the front lines. I
Oh
essentially...
shit! I'm one of the few that hasn't been taken hostage yet. Sad. I did get thrown into a room and pummeled mercilessly, though. That was a fun time. If we're ever on a mission again and Wolf is there, let's beat his ass properly.
That was the plan. Though, ideally, I would want to put him down. Permanently.
Yeah, we can try that if he doesn't run away again. Like he did on that last mission with Riker.
I won't give him the chance.
Gimme!
Gimme!
Dude, that's so sick.
We're good at this whole talking thing.
Oh, my ankle.
Oh,
Dude,
God.
for real, man.
What'd you do to your ankle?
They like to do this thing where if I crouch down and the right way, they pop.
Oh.
That shit hurty.
Oh my god, that shit hardy. You know, I think that was a very productive talk.
That was really good, actually. It
Mhm.
wasn't, of course, the way I planned for it to go. But in a roundabout way, it went the right way anyways. I can't take my fucking strap off my hand.
How did you plan for it to go?
The Ira thing was going to be the last thing I mentioned.
I think it's better that we didn't mention the Ira thing last, because it was so much of a better way to end that conversation, not just being fucking pissed.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm glad I talked about the Sylvia and Gems thing first.
You mean last?
Last, I mean, yeah. Whatever, dude.
Whatever.
This guy says last, I say fuck you.
Fuck you.
That was so nice though, and I gotta do that with fucking Ace, bro.
I mean that was a good moment for Python of just being able to actually try and help someone who's going through like a tough time emotionally when she's never had to do that before, because girl doesn't know what she's doing. Girl doesn't know what she's doing. She's just saying what people told her.
I mean, hey, that's how we do it, you know?
Yeah, that's
We read a book, we say what the book said.
Yeah, I've done
How
a
does
bit
this
of
make you
popcorn.
feel?
I've done a bit of popcorn reading.
Dude, he mentioned the popcorn reading, dude. Oh my god, who's next on the next page, bro?
Well, you said that ace guy, so I would hope it's that ace
Oh,
guy.
that's true. No, you right. You right. I'm at my stream. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and end my stream real quick. Thank you guys so much for coming for a short little scene this game. I will see you all tomorrow for normal gang stuff. But yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you all later. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.